Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. Something big just happened, and trust me, the internet isn't ready. Liu Yuning and Song Zuer just gave fans the clearest clue yet about their rumored relationship, and it's sending shockwaves across fan communities from Seoul to Paris, from Tokyo to Los Angeles. Could this be the soft launch we've all been waiting for? Or are they just playing the most beautifully subtle game of hide and seek with their fans? Stick around, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you look at every post, every smile, and every silent moment between them. It all began not with a headline or a viral post, but with the quiet tension that lingers in the space between two people. Liu Yuning and Song Zuer never needed grand declarations or dramatic scenes to capture attention. Instead, what drew fans in was something more subtle, more real. The way their eyes met a fraction longer than necessary during interviews, the half-smile exchanged on stage, or the barely noticeable synchronicity in their public appearances. They haven't co-starred in a romantic drama, yet somehow their off-screen dynamic felt more powerful than anything scripted. Each interaction, though brief, was charged with an unspoken connection that fans couldn't ignore. And as these moments accumulated over the years, people began to ask, was this simply good chemistry, or the beginning of something genuine? It wasn't just the moments themselves, but the pattern they created. Matching Instagram posts, shared travel aesthetics, and mutual friends crossing into their respective circles. Everything seemed to point toward a bond that ran deeper than casual industry acquaintance. Fans started collecting these clues not out of obsession, but because they saw something honest in them, something that made them believe. This wasn't just about celebrities. It was about two human beings whose energy resonated, who seemed to speak through silences and subtle gestures. In a world where public personas are carefully curated, the imperfections, the hesitations, the authenticity between them became the story. The rumor didn't explode overnight. It built slowly, piece by piece, fueled not by scandal but by hope. The hope that sometimes love grows quietly, and that if you look closely enough, the truth is right there between the lines. It was just a bracelet, or at least that's what it looked like at first. Earthy tones, worn leather, and small beads strung together without flash or fanfare. But for those who have been paying attention, it meant far more. Months ago, fans noticed Liu Yuning wearing it during a concert tour. A simple accessory that happened to match one seen earlier on Song Zuer. The timing, the style, even the way they both wore it on their left wrist, it sparked quiet whispers. Was it coincidence? Or was it a symbol of something neither had spoken aloud? Then it disappeared. For weeks, the bracelet was nowhere to be seen. As the rumors died down, so did the speculation, until one live stream changed everything. Liu Yuning appeared on screen, casual and candid as always. But there it was again, the same bracelet back on his wrist. He didn't mention it, didn't call attention to it. Yet something in the way he rested his hand near the camera, the way his fingers traced the beads absent-mindedly, suggested it was more than just an accessory. When asked by a friend on stream half-jokingly if he was missing someone special, Liu paused. He smiled, not with his lips but with his eyes, and answered with one word, maybe. It wasn't a confession nor a denial. It was a moment, quiet, careful, and deeply human. That small reply felt more sincere than any public statement ever could. And suddenly the bracelet wasn't just back. It was speaking in silence, to everyone who had ever loved someone without needing the world's approval. To those who believe that even the simplest things, like a string of beads, can carry the weight of something real. Not long after Liu Yuning's quiet, maybe sent ripples through social media, the spotlight turned to Song Zuer. She didn't speak publicly, didn't issue any statement, and yet somehow her silence said more than words ever could. On a calm spring afternoon, she posted a series of photos, soft, serene, and breathtakingly personal, captured in a garden blooming with cherry blossoms. The images weren't flashy. She wore no makeup, no designer labels. Just her alone in the frame, standing beneath a tree in full bloom, her gaze distant, almost wistful. The caption read only two words, Gentle moments. 2 days later, Liu Yuning uploaded a short video clip. The light was different, the camera angle less deliberate, but the backdrop told its own story, cherry blossoms again. And not just any cherry blossoms. Fans swore the garden in his video was the same one in Song Zuer's photos. The same stone path, the same wooden bench. And though he never addressed it directly, the unspoken message was unmistakable. In that shared silence, 1,000 feelings bloomed. These weren't just posts. They were glimpses into a private world. A world where two people, surrounded by the chaos of fame, had found a place of stillness. The blossoms became a metaphor. Fleeting, delicate, beautiful. Much like the kind of connection that doesn't need to be declared to be real. For fans watching closely, it felt like an intimate conversation taking place in plain sight. Like watching two hearts speak to one another across the noise of the internet, without a single word. And perhaps that's what makes their story so compelling. In a world addicted to loud confessions and viral declarations, Liu Yuning and Song Zuer are choosing something braver. Quiet honesty. Style can be accidental. A color choice here, a trend followed there. Especially for celebrities whose wardrobes are often curated by stylists. But when subtle patterns begin to emerge between two people, it becomes harder to ignore. Liu Yuning and Song Zuer have never announced a relationship, yet their wardrobes have slowly begun to tell a story of their own. Over the past year, fans have noticed more than just a few coincidental overlaps. Neutral tones, matching beanies, and oversized hoodies with identical motifs. These weren't just fashion statements. They were quiet echoes of each other's presence, woven into daily life. Then came the moment that changed everything. Liu Yuning stepped out for a fan meet wearing a relaxed navy jacket over a soft beige, casual, unassuming, but unmistakably stylish. Less than 48 hours later, Song Zuer posted a candid photo of herself in a nearly identical color palette, down to the cut of the collar and the muted layering. At first glance, it might have passed as coincidence. But for those who had been watching closely, it felt like something more. A shared language spoken through fabric and form. What made it more intimate wasn't the clothing itself, but the way they wore it. Not as if they were copying trends, but as if they were mirroring a feeling. A subtle nod that said, "I'm thinking of you too." For their fans, this wasn't about fashion anymore. It was about connection. About how two people can occupy separate spaces yet still find ways to align. In a world where love is often loud, Liu Yuning and Song Zuer are crafting something quieter, and perhaps more meaningful. A love stitched not in declarations, but in details only those truly paying attention will ever notice. Some connections aren't announced, they're discovered, one quiet moment at a time. As fans continued piecing together the puzzle that is Liu Yuning and Song Zuer, another subtle thread began to appear, not through words or clothes but through places. Again and again they seemed to orbit the same quiet corners of the world. Peaceful cafes, studio rooftops, even hidden gardens tucked away from the public eye. First it seemed like pure chance. But then came something far more personal. The sketchbook. It started with a photo Song Zuer posted on her social media. A soft, early morning shot of her hands gently resting on an open sketchbook. The page showed a pencil drawing. A city skyline delicately shaded, with a single figure standing near the edge. The caption was brief, just a whisper of a thought. Sometimes stillness says everything. Fans admired it, but didn't think much more. Until weeks later, Liu Yuning released behind-the-scenes footage from a recording session. At the edge of the frame, barely noticeable, sat a sketchbook. And when the camera passed over it, fans were stunned. The style was eerily similar. Another drawing. Another skyline. But this time two figures. Side by side. It was never confirmed if the sketchbooks were the same. No direct explanation was offered. But that mystery only deepened the feeling. That perhaps they were communicating through shared spaces, quiet drawings, and moments too delicate to explain. Maybe this was their way of building something away from the noise. Something real. And in that gentle act of creation, through lines on a page, through places visited separately but remembered together, a different kind of intimacy took root. The kind that speaks not with grand gestures, but with presence, memory, and quiet understanding. In an industry where silence often speaks louder than confession, the whispers surrounding Liu Yuning and Song Zuer have grown too loud to ignore. For months now, those on the inside, stylists, assistants, even brand reps, have hinted at something just beneath the surface. Not outright confirmation, but nods. Smiles exchanged when no one else is watching. Knowing glances when their names are mentioned. It's not just fans who are curious anymore. It's the entire industry, quietly waiting for the truth to step out of the shadows. A stylist close to a recent campaign confided anonymously, saying, "There's a softness in her lately. A glow we haven't seen before." Another source whispered that a major luxury brand was adjusting its partnership strategy, anticipating a shift in public image for one of their stars. No names, no dates, just fragments. But fragments, when repeated enough, begin to sound like a pattern. The entertainment world has always walked the line between fantasy and reality. But for Liu Yuning and Song Zuer, this line is becoming blurred. Maybe they're not hiding, maybe they're protecting something fragile, something not yet ready for the harsh lights and headlines. And maybe, just maybe, they're choosing to let the story unfold in their own time. So what comes next? Will they ever speak their truth out loud? Or will they continue to let the world guess, connecting the dots with each quiet gesture? No one can say for sure. But what's certain is this: something real is being written between them, not in press releases or social media posts, but in trust, in timing, and in the quiet courage to love without needing to explain. And that, perhaps, is the most powerful confirmation of all. Whether you believe they're together or just soulmates in another form, there's no denying that Liu Yuning and Song Zuer have given fans hope. Hope that love can be soft. Hope that it can exist quietly, respectfully, beautifully, even in the spotlight. And most of all, hope that real connection doesn't need to shout, simply needs to be felt. If you felt something while listening, even just a moment of, what if? Then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon for updates, and drop a comment below. Do you think they're together? Or are they simply the most powerful what if in entertainment right now? Thank you for watching and supporting this channel. You keep the community alive, and every like, comment, and share makes a difference. Until next time, keep your heart open, because in the world of stories, the most beautiful ones are often written in silence. Sparkles.